Hello, welcome to A Layman Looks at the Word with Hal Richardson. We're starting a little early this time because this prophecy about the rapture taking place on the 23rd. I don't know that that's going to happen, but we're going to talk about that. This will be Lesson 3 in Rapture Prophecies. Last time we finished talking about two people raptured in the Bible, Enoch and Elijah. So there is a rapture coming. Many believe it will be pre-tribulation rapture. So did the church fathers and the Essenes. I believe there could be another rapture at mid-tribulation with the 144,000 that are redeemed from the earth, possibly with their converts. Revelation 14:3. I say possibly because the job of these Jewish men is evangelists, and I am sure that they reach a lot of people. There are many with white robes after the 144,000 are picked in Revelation 7 that come out of the Great Tribulation. It does not specifically say that they were killed. Paul tells us that all Israel will be saved, and this great revival will be in the tribulation, where they will realize that Jesus is their Messiah, and they will mourn for the one they pierced. The tribulation is a time of God's wrath. That is, the days of awe, Jacob's trouble, Daniel's missing week, they're all the same period. God does not appoint wrath to his church, which are his children. 1 Thessalonians 5:9. 84 years. When Jacob went to Haran to stay with his uncle Laban, he was 77 years old. This year is the 77th year since Israel became a nation. Interesting that this is the generations mentioned in Luke from Jesus to Adam. In other words, from Jesus to Adam is 77 generations. Well, he worked for 7 years for Rachel, and Laban snuck Leah in at the wedding chamber. But Jacob agreed to work another 7 years for Rachel. When this was agreed, Jacob, who was later named Israel by the Lord, was 84 years old. Genesis 29. Anna, which means grace, came to see the baby Jesus and pronounced to all that Jesus was the redemption. She was 84 years old in Luke 20:37. Before her, Simeon, which really means the law, or here, the law, came and pronounced Jesus as the salvation, a light to the Gentiles and a glory of Israel. This was a symbol of the law and the old covenant passing to the grace of the new covenant, because Anna came after Simeon. If the rapture takes place in September of 25 and the tribulation ends in 2032 with Armageddon, that will be 84 years from Israel becoming a nation, and 2032 minus 1948 is 84. Paul tells us that all Israel will be saved, and that will be in the tribulation. Jacob is getting his first love, or God getting once again Israel. The red heifer and the temple. We can deduce from Revelation that there will have to be a temple built in Jerusalem in order for the Antichrist to be able to defile it. The Temple Institute has prepared all the Levite priests to perform sacrifices. They have also all the implements made, as well as the temple furniture. They say they don't have the Ark of the Covenant, but they know where it is. The big problem is the Muslim shrines on the Temple Mount. 5 red heifers have been specially bred and brought to Jerusalem at a great cost. They have to be perfect, according to Numbers 19. The ashes from the sacrificed red heifer are the only way to purify the area and the temple and build it according to the law. On July 1, 2025, there was a rehearsal sacrifice of a supposedly not perfect red heifer at Shiloh. When the priests were going to make this sacrifice for real in 2024, Hamas attacked Israel on October 7, 23. Israel is still at war with Hamas in Gaza over this affair. There have been 9 red heifer sacrifices in Israel's history. The 10th sacrifice is to bring in the Messiah. If this was a cover-up for the real sacrifice, it would change things, for that sacrifice will have already been made. Israel now is a stumbling stone for the world. This is because Jesus, the Messiah, came and was crucified there, and he is the stone that the builders rejected, which is the corner or the foundation stone for the church. Many prophecies have been fulfilled to the day since Israel became a nation in 1948. Israel right now is fighting a 7-front war, and the Iran and Gaza war are both prophesied in the Bible. The Temple Institute in Israel has all of the implements ready. They have all the priests trained. They're ready to build the temple. The technology for the mark of the beast is ready. The ability for electronic money for the whole world monetary system is also ready. The foundation for the world religion are laid in the World Church built in Abu Dhabi, which has a church and a synagogue and a mosque, all orchestrated by Pope Francis. China has a 200 million man army, as is mentioned in Revelation. The Apophis asteroid, which means the Egyptian god of chaos and darkness, is due to come to Earth on April 13th, 2029. That would be mid-tribulation, if the tribulation starts this year, and could fulfill the wormwood prophecy, which was in part already done with the Chernobyl and the Fukushima incidents about radioactivity. The events and the timing for the rapture are all coming in place. It is imminent. The rapture is a mystery and a secret, and it's mentioned in the Bible as harpazo in the Greek, which means to snatch away upward. In Latin, it's rapere. Resurrection. Jesus was the firstborn of the dead into an immortal, divine body. We Christians are promised the same body in Philippians 3:21. The first group to actually be resurrected was the righteous of Israel. Jesus preached to them in the upper part of Hades when his body was in the tomb for 3 days. Jesus told the thief on the cross to his right, "Today you will be with me in paradise." Ephesians 4:4, there's one body and one spirit, even as you were called in one hope of your calling, one Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God and Father of all, who is above all and through all and in you all. But to every one of us is given grace according to the measure of the gift of Christ. Wherefore he saith, when he ascended up on high, he led captivity captive, and he gave gifts unto men. Now that he ascended, what is it but he also descended first into the lower parts of the earth? He that descended is the same also that ascended far above all heavens, that he might fulfill all things. 1 Peter 3:18, for Christ also hath once suffered for sins, the just for the unjust, that he might bring us to God, being put to death in the flesh, but quickened by the Spirit, by which he also went and preached to the spirits in prison, which sometime were disobedient, when one of the long sufferings of God waited in the days of Noah, while the ark was preparing, wherein a few, that is 8 souls, were saved by water. Matthew 27:52. And the graves were opened, and many bodies of the saints which slept arose, and came out of the graves after his resurrection, and went into the holy city, and appeared to many. The next resurrection will be after Armageddon, for those that were beheaded during the tribulation. Revelation 20, verse 4. The next resurrection will be at the end of the millennium, at the great white throne judgment for all who have not been born again in Jesus. Revelation 20, 9-15. The Christian judgment will be at the time of death, or at the resurrection, or transformation at the rapture. The wonderful thing is that sin is not in this equation, because of Jesus' blood cleansing us and giving us forgiveness. A question will come, what did you do with your salvation? Was it gold or silver or precious stones, or wood, hay, or stubble? It is the time of refining and reward. All will qualify for heaven's entry, but some will get crowns. 1 Corinthians 3:10. According to the grace of God which is given unto me as a wise master builder, I have laid the foundation, and another buildeth thereon. But let every man take heed how he buildeth thereupon. For other foundation can no man lay than that which is laid, which is Jesus Christ. Now if any man build upon this foundation of gold, silver, precious stones, or wood, hay, stubble, every man's work will be made manifest, for the day will declare it, because it shall be revealed by fire, and the fire shall try every man's work of what sort it is. In prayer, talking to the Lord, I asked about the rapture. He said, I am coming soon, at a time when you know not. This affirms what he's already spoken in Matthew 24:44 and Luke 12:40. I pray that you are or will be in God's family. Jesus is the only way there. If you don't know him today, ask Jesus to save you and come into your heart, and then follow his guidance. That will conclude this lesson today, and we will start a new one next time. Bye for now.